G'day everyone. This video is going to be about replacing the rear seal in a Getrag 5-speed gearbox in my red ute. I'm only recording this. I've got to apologise for the video. It came out a bit of a mess. I had trouble with the microphone. The lighting wasn't that good. I have added an extra bit in this video because I've got a spare gearbox here under the bench, so I went through what I did under the car when the sound went off. So anyway, I hope you still enjoy it, and then if you have to do this job, you'll get something out of it. The socket that I use, I've actually put it in the video, and I'll have to see how the photos come out. I'll try and get the information for this socket, but you need this socket to rattle the yoke off the end of the gearbox. And also in the video I keep mentioning a 3-prong puller to pull the yoke off. It won't work, it just slips off, so you'd have to make one, but you just use a brass drift or whatever you got, and you just tap on each of the 3 bolt things. You just tap it slowly out. You've got to keep turning it. Tap one, turn one, tap one. You'll get it off. Anyway, enjoy the video, I hope. See you later. Okay, I am back under the car. I've just in the process of uploading the inlet manifold install, and I'm at it again. What a robot, eh? I'm just removing the gearbox crossmember to get it out of the way, because this is the rear seal of the gearbox. I don't know how successful I'm going to be in filming this because it's so hard to set the camera up under here. So I know you can't see it, but I'm removing the crossmember bolts because I just can't move the camera around. Once it's out of the way, you'll see a bit more. I got them loose. I got them all ready before I started filming, but I'm doing the best I can. Just go around the other side here and I'll get these other 2 bolts. I haven't really got this car up high enough, so I'm hoping, let me check the camera, it's still on there, so I'm hoping I don't bump it or do anything. I need a bloody hoist. The amount of time I spend underneath these cars. Alright. Managed to get them out without losing them. Okay. It'll be about the millionth time I've cleaned that cross member up. Righto, now I'm going to try and get these out. I've got the socket there. I'm going to see how tight they are. I'll go back around the other side. So all I do is run from side to side on this thing. Righto. Like I said, I'm trying to work around a camera and a light. I think it's 19 mil. Hang on. No, it's 18. Pretty sure the crossmember ones were 16, I think. Hang on, I'll tell you. I better tell you. Not much good making a video if I don't tell you anything. 16. And the ones in the middle were 13. So Just let me see if I can crack these bolts. Yep. Back again. I'm trying to, hang on, I've got to set this camera up the best I can, get it out of the way. So, this is where I'm up to. I'm trying to get the donut off. Like I said, I'm having a lot of dramas with this. Okay, I'll try and go back a little bit and cross a bit. Just making sure that you can see. Alright, that's going to have to do. I'm just undoing those other 3 bolts. It's just like with the manifold that you have an idea of doing something. I think if I had the car higher, I'd do it, because I did it when I took the gearbox out. I didn't have to do this, but unfortunately, the way I'm set up now, I do. So I'm going to have to undo these 3 bolts, then slide the donut back on a bit, get the tail shaft down, and then take the donut off. Sorry, I hope you can still see. Fun part. Got to get this big bolt out. This big nut. Hang on. I'll see if I can. There. That nut's got to come out, and I have got a socket for it. I'm going to have to get the big rattle gun to get that off. So, hang on. I'll try and set that up there. And that's not too bad. Alright. I'll pause it again. I'll be back. Alright. Took a bit of searching, but I've got a special socket to get this out, because it's 30mm. It's got to be like a thinner wall one. I've got some other rattle gun ones. Heavier sockets I'll show you. 30mm rattle gun socket. This will have a brand on it somewhere. I'll put it up later. I'll let you know, because it's got to fit in there and a lot of them won't. So let's try and rattle this off. Okay, we're back again. This is the next day. We've got the yoke off. I just use a brass drifter to get in behind it and a hammer. But if you're going to attempt this, there's a better way to do it, especially the way the output shaft is set up. Use a 3-prong puller. Heaps better way to do it. Took me ages, so I had to lever it, turn it, lever it, turn it. So yeah, it took way too long. Anyway, I'll show you underneath. I'm just gonna I'll pause this. This is what I'm gonna use. This is a tool I've got. It's just a seal hook for pulling seals out. But if you don't have one of these, I'll get underneath. You may be able to use the method I used in the rear main. If you look at the video removing the rear main seal from this car, you just drill a hole and put a screw in it and just pull it out with a pair of pliers. But I'll just pause this and I'll get this set up under the car again. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. It's very hard to position all this, get the right light. Like I said, I've only got a tall tripod. You see the way the output shaft is? It's very easy there. See that? It's very easy to get a puller in there. So a 3-prong puller I reckon is the best bet. The way this seal is, I'm just gonna... Of course I haven't got a bloody rag under here. I think I'll have to use, yeah, see, I can already see that this seal's not in properly. Mate, I don't know what I was doing. It's not in properly, that's why and it's not in far enough. That's why it hasn't sealed. It's looking like to me, I don't know if that's part of the seal. I'm gonna have to wait till I get the new one. I don't think it is. And I can't use that hook to get it out. So I will have to wait by the look of it. Yeah, this reminds me of the rear main. This seal is just so crooked. Unfortunately, from what I'm looking at here, it looks like my little selector shaft seal is leaking again. I'm not even going to bother with that. Honestly, I've had a gut full of that thing. I've put 3 in it, and I just can't be bothered anymore. Although it's pretty easy to get to now, but the best way to do it is out of the car. If you have to do it in the car, it's really hard. You can get the new one in, but it's hard to get the old one out. So, like I said, I'm not going to bother with that, but this rear seal here, I can see there, see how there's oil above the seal, that means it's coming from up there. So, I'll clean her up, and we'll have a look. I'm going to see if I can hook this seal out. If the outer, see, I think that's the seal there. Actually, I know it is now. I know it is, because it's in crooked. I don't think I can drill it. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to try and put a screw in it, and just try and get it out. Anyway, I'll see what I come up with, and I'll get back to you. Right, I'm gonna have to butcher this. I can't drill it. I can't do anything. So I've just got a small screwdriver, and I'm trying to lever it out. There. That's the seal. That's all I can do. Now I don't have the new seal yet. So I'll clean all this up, and I've got to have a look at where it runs on the box. I'm going to try and knock it in a bit further. Same as the rear main. And hopefully it'll be alright. But I'll have to come back to this, because I don't have the seal, like I said. It's not too bad, actually. These marks, when I was trying to get the yoke off, I was using a big screwdriver, which I have here somewhere, and just sort of leaving each side a bit of time, and it was working it off. But that's what those marks are, and I shouldn't have done that. Like I said, that's recessed for the center of your puller. Just use a 3-prong puller. That's what I'm going to do next time. It would have been heaps quicker. Put the rattle gun on it, bang, would have pulled it straight off. Anyway, I'll have to come back to this later on. G'day everyone, hope you're all well. Here we are 2 weeks later. This reseal saga's still going. It's taken 2 weeks, no more than 2 weeks. They reckon I bought a seal off eBay and they reckon they posted it on the 4th of October. It's now, well, it turned up yesterday, so it's the 22nd it turned up. I didn't think that one was going to turn up, so I ordered one from Burson's and the bloke said, oh yep, it'll be here the next day. That was 2 weeks ago. So, and then they said, oh well, we're having trouble with, you know, blah blah in Melbourne, blah blah blah, and we've ordered you one from Sydney, it'll be here tomorrow, which was yesterday. Still not here. So fortunately, like I said, the one off eBay turned up yesterday, so I can finish this video. And as I said earlier, it's a bit of a mess because this thing stopped working. So I've sped it up because I always say I'm going to speed stuff up, but then I start crapping on with stuff and I think, oh no, I better leave that in. But I have sped this one up a lot. If I've left something out, something that you want to know, just ask me in the comments after the video, and I hope you can understand it and still get something out of this. But like I said, it turned out a bit of a mess. But anyway, I'll show you what I've got. Alright, there's the seal, new seal. I've checked it against the old one here, all good. And that's what I'm going to use. I'm lucky I got this thing. I can't even remember where I got it, but all you need to do is find something that fits around there, or push that into the back of your gearbox the best you can with your hands. Use your old seal and put it backwards like that and tap it in. But I'm lucky I got this thing. If you have a look, it fits pretty good on there. So I'm going to start with that, or maybe I'm going to start with this side because it's safer. But see, that'll get it flush. And I want to try and get it in a bit further, so that's when I'll switch over to this side. But we'll go over to the car. There's something else I want to explain that happened with the inlet manifold when I finished putting the belt tension over. I don't know if you remember or if you've watched it, but I had to wait for O-rings to turn up. So we'll go over to the car and I'll explain what happened. Okay. Now, I don't know how well I can film this, but the pipe in here that goes through the belt tensioner bracket, which is here, I'll just try and get a better shot. So there's the end, there's the other end of it. So that pipe going through, I put a bit of rubber grease on the O-seals because I didn't want to bind them up, put them in. That was a good idea because the O-ring slipped off. So when I fired her up, there was coolant everywhere. So I pulled it back out and I had to use the old one because the old one wasn't bad. So I put the old one back in. There's another bloke on YouTube who did this same job, and he smeared R2V or silicone around the O-rings, but I don't want to do that. The factory did it with just the O-rings, so they should be enough to seal it. But this is sealed now, it's not leaking. If it starts leaking, I know exactly where to go. So it's not hard to pull that bracket out again and replace that O-ring. And the other problem I had, if you watched the video, I was mucking around with the injectors, making sure they're all seated. And because you can't see both sides, I obviously didn't seat this one properly. So I pinched the O-ring down the bottom, going into the manifold. Had a piece missing on it. So first I had the coolant problem and then I had fuel pissing out. Or actually vice versa. The fuel problem was first, because what I do is I turn the ignition on, build up fuel pressure, and this was spraying out everywhere. Luckily I got spare injectors with seals on them, so I just had to grab one off one of my spare injectors and put it on, so she's all good. So I've had this running, everything seems fine. I'm I did mention on the video I thought about putting RTV around the water jackets on the inlet manifold gaskets, but I'm glad I didn't do that because they just fail. It's got nothing to do with the sealing, it's just the rubber bit fails or the plastic warps, and that's why they fail. So I guess the steel ones are a better option, but I got a horrible feeling I might have to replace the inlet manifold at some stage because it had a lot of pitting on it, and I got it as good as I could. But anyway, enough about that. Otherwise the whole video is going to be about this again. Alright, I'm going to get under the car and we'll get started on this. Alright, I'm just going to check the sound before I start. Make sure it's on, yep. Okay, I've just pushed this in. I've got to push it in a bit more. What I've done is I've just pushed it in by hand. So what you do is just work it in. Just go around with your thumb. Work it all in. You can nearly get it all the way in. That is pretty flush. But if you have a look where it's sitting here, I want it to go in a bit more. Now the bottom, I've actually got in further than the top. So if I can get my arms up here, because like I said, very hard to work under this car. It really needs to be higher up. Yep, I've just pushed the top in. That seems better. Got to be careful because it doesn't really have a stopper to stop it. So you can actually knock it in too far, but that's in further than the old one was, and it's straight. So much for my little piece of pipe. It's not needed. You can push it in with your hands. So that's it. Now, if I can find it, and another tip, you really, I mean, everyone will tell you to mark this before you take it. Now, I never have. Even doing the centre tail shaft bearing, I never marked it, and I've never had any vibration or anything like that, and maybe I've been lucky, you know, I don't know, but I've never done it. I've always, you know, it's not because I don't want to do it, it's usually because I'm in a hurry and I just forget to do it. So this is our next step, to try and tap this on, but you've got to do this very carefully, and I don't want to really attack it. I'm just going to move this light. It's hard, like I said, it's very hard to work under here, but this is sort of a reversal of taking it off, although it was very hard to get off. Once you get it on most of the way, I'm going to use a rattle gun and the bolt, if I can find it, or the nut, sorry. So righto, there is the nut. So make sure it's not cross-threaded or anything. So that's starting to screw on, that's going good. So what I will do, get the trusty rattle gun. Like I said, I'm trying to hurry, I don't want to make a long video. And we'll have a go at this. Okay, I'm going to pause the video because I'm going to put it in gear now, so that stops turning. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to give it another go with the rattle gun. Make sure it's on. Okay. I might go and get a bar. I'll just try with a socket. I'll just give it a go with the socket. Well, the 3/8 one's not going to help me, is it? No.
Alright. I've got a big breaker bar, so I'll just pause you again and I'll be back. Alright, I've got this big bar, but I may not be able to use it because the car's not high enough. But it's a big king chrome ratchet bar. So yep, it's gonna work. Nah, it just turns the engine over, so that's tight enough. That'll do. Now I've got to put my donut back on. I think that can go on either way. Like I said, I didn't mark anything, so if I end up with a vibration, it's my own stupid fault. Oh, I just found a rubber seal out of a plug, so I'll better hang on to that. I've got I really love doing things the hard way. So, you know, that's how I roll. Okay. Now I'll go and get the Crossmember and we'll put it in here and get these two little bolts on, nuts. Back in a sec. Righto. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm hoping that the sound is going to come out because I haven't checked it. Earlier on in this video I lost the sound, as you'll see, although I think I might have cut that out. I've done a fair bit of editing on this thing already. You might have to manipulate this one around, I can't see. Yeah. That's it. Make sure it's lined up. Gonna line it with the bolt holes. Righto. I'm gonna leave it loose because I've got to jack the car up. Righto. Where is it? There they are. Alright, so you can see how far away it is. So I'm gonna jack it up and get it closer and I'll put the side bolts in. Okay, she's jacked up. Says the sound's still working, so don't ever go for your rattle guns straight away. Screw them in, make sure they're not cross-threaded. Like that. So I think I did once upon a time cross-thread one of these, but I'll just go over the other side, put those two in and we'll get the gun on them. Fun, fun, fun. What else would you be doing? Okay. I really don't mind doing this stuff. I'm just whinging. But I really like it better when I got room. And maybe I should plan ahead a bit more. But I was in the groove the other week and I thought, just finish the manifold, I'll do this. Anyway, let's do these up. Those of you with keen eyes will notice that I am using the wrong socket. It is, I think it's 16 mil. Just trying to get this socket off because something wrong with this rattle gun. It's only a little super cheap one, but it goes all right. Okay, I'm going to go over the other side again, so I've left everything over there, so it won't be long. All right, what have I done with the ratchet? I just like checking them. I don't trust rattle guns. The battery's flat, you know, battery's getting flat and that. But no, it's done pretty well. So yeah, 16 mil on the side of your Crossmember, which I did mention earlier. And I think the middle ones are 13s. And I had the socket. Would you believe I had the socket right here? Now I've done something with it. Ah, come on. 10 mil, oh there it is. That's a 13. Yep, alright. So, I've got a 13 already on here. So that's gonna do. These don't have to be mega tight. Just like that, that'll do. Alright. And this is going to conclude the rear seal on the gearbox video. I'll just give the gearbox a wipe because I've been running it without a seal and a bit of oil's dribbled out. Okay, because it was leaking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the oil level, but there's no point filming that. Earlier on in the video I put up 2 still pictures of the socket. Just take a screenshot of it. I think I might have got it from Sydney Tools, I think. I'm not too sure. I'll see if I can find an ad for it. Or I'll see if I can find it online and put a link down the bottom if I can. But anyway, that's going to do me. Like, share and subscribe. I hope you get something out of this video. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.